हाँ जी, कर ली। हो गई स्टार्ट। Okay, class, as you can see on the screen, it is written on slide. It is Oxford Progressive English. We are going to read poem today. The tide rises, the tide falls, and it is on page 41. Your Oxford Progressive English books and lead pencils must be with you. Okay. So I'm going to tell you about the poem. This poem is written by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. He is an American of the nature which rises and fall on the seashore. Okay, one thing I'm going to tell you that this poem has double meaning, dual meaning. There are two meanings. Whatever is told in this poem, it has two meanings. Okay, one meaning is apparent and the other meaning is hidden meaning. Okay, so there are dual meanings of some words and phrases. There is a mystery, a secret in this poem. And mystery traveler is actually human being. He's a man. Mystery traveler is actually man. His emotions and feelings are told here, and the person also sees the continuous rise and fall of the tide. Okay, this continuous rise and fall of the tide is actually life and death. It also represents life and death. Rise is life and fall is death. So it is a journey of life. This poem also tells us about the journey of life, about the phases or process of life, that birth, death, and then after death there is an other life, that is rebirth. Okay, so process of this life is told here in this poem. The rise and fall actually tells us about the cycle of life in this universe where people are born, they go through different phases of life, and then silently they leave this world. So this is the hidden meaning in this poem. Okay, Zana, what do you want to say? Okay, I will let you know. I will explain each and everything. Just listen to me. It is a process of birth, death, and then rebirth. Seashore, seashore represents the last point of life. What is the last point of life? Last point of life is death. And the poem tells us about the sad reality of this temporary life. This life is temporary. Temporary means something that will not continue, that will end. So, temporary is something that will end, that will not continue. Sad reality of life. This is a sad reality of life, that people are born and then they die, and then after death, they will again be born. So that is a process. That is another process of rebirth. So actually, life is described. Human beings' life is described: birth, death, and then rebirth. And this is the hidden meaning of this poem. Okay, Aital, unmute your mic. Aital, unmute your mic. Yes, Aital, ask what do you want to say. Aital, unmute your mic and please ask what do you want to ask. Now mic is
Teacher,
unmuted.
why we didn't read previous?
Say again, I'm not getting you. Aital, I'm not getting you. Please say again. Unmute your mic. Which chapters you are talking about? We have read, this is unit 2. And from this unit 2, we have read one chapter, The King and the Tide. And this is the second chapter. And in next lecture, you will be reading Green Force. So only 3 chapters from this unit will be done. From first unit, we read 3 chapters, My House, Summers in Murray, and Reading Email. So those 3 chapters were from unit 1. This is unit 2. We have read The King and the Tide. Now today we'll read this poem, The Tide Rises, The Tide Falls, and in next lecture you will be reading Green Force, next topic. Aital, unmute your mic. Please ask what do you want to ask.
The Unit 1 topic where we live now, and then we have only done where Summers in Murray. Only these two we have done.
From unit 1, we have done emails, Summers in Murray, and My House, chapter 1, 2, and 6. We will be doing only chapter 1, 2, and 6 from unit 1. Okay? Only these 3 will be done from unit 1. Chapter 1, 2, and 6. And we have started unit 2, and we have done one topic, one chapter of unit 2, that is The King and the Tide. We read it in last lecture. Today we are going to read poem, that is 5th topic, The Tide Rises and the Tide Falls. And in next lecture, you will be reading Green Force. Only 3 topics will be done from this unit. 3 chapters will be done from this unit, okay? There are 6 topics, there are 6 chapters, but we will not do 3 chapters, we'll do half chapters. Means there are 6, so we'll do only 3. We'll not do all. Okay, I was telling you about the poem. This poem has dual meaning. There are 2 meanings. One is apparent and second meaning is hidden meaning. This poem is written by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. He is an American poet. The poet is telling the beauty of the tides which rise and fall on the seashore. Actually, this tide is, it is about the journey of life. This tide tells us about the journey of life. A rise of the tide, it is life, and the fall of the tide is actually death. It also tells us about the process of life, about life cycle in this universe. When people are born, They go through different phases of life, and then silently they leave this world. Okay. So if you look at page 41, there are 3 stanzas in this poem. Each stanza has 5 lines. There are 3 stanzas in this poem. Each stanza has 5 lines, and there's a mystery traveler in the poem. It is written there, there's mystery traveler in the poem. So mystery traveler is a person. Okay, I'm going to read stanza. I draws the white darkness. The curlew calls along the sea sands, damp and brown. The traveler hastens towards the town, and the tide rises, the tide falls. Twilight mean darkness. Twilight mean darkness, and curlew is a wedding bird. It is written on left side. Curlew is a wedding bird, and it is written on left side. And twilight is between light and darkness. I'm going to show you on slide. Okay, look at slide. Curlew, a wading bird, as you can see in the picture. Wade mean that walks through water. He can walk through, this bird can walk through water. Okay, Aital, I've got it. And this is twilight, that is between light and darkness. So somewhere there's light and there's darkness also. There's light and there's darkness also. This is called twilight. So I'm going to explain stanza number 1. Please read it, listen to it carefully. The poem begins with the phrase, the tide rises, the tide falls. This phrase is repeated many times in this poem. There are 2 meanings of this phrase. First meaning is it simply means that the tides of the sea keep rising and falling, and this process is never ending. The tide means life, rise is actually birth, and the fall is actually death of human beings. Twilight is soft, glowing light. Light and darkness, twilight. So when the sun is about to set, that is that time period when there is a little light and little darkness. That is called twilight. This lines means when I don't have its picture, Aital. I will send it to you. Okay, I'll send picture of it in group. Okay, I'll take picture of this page 41. I will take picture of it from my book, and then I'll send it in group. Okay. Okay, I was telling you that this line means that evening appears and there is darkness. Calling of curlew. Curlew is a bird. So calling of curlew is actually call of death. Damp means wet. Okay, Aital, I've got your message. Okay. Zara, please check your mic. If you are having problem, you can't hear me, then please check your mic. Okay. Then in fourth line, It is told that there is a traveler who walks along the seashore at the time of dusk, and he is going towards town. He is going towards town. Actually, the traveler is human being who is old now. Darkness represents his final stage, and town refers to death. So in the last line, it is told that this life is temporary. I have told you two meanings. Twilight mean between light and darkness, a little light and little darkness. And curlew is a wading bird. Okay. Now who is having book? Please read stanza 2. Who will read stanza 2? Hurry up, students, raise your hand. Okay, I thought I'll send after the class. I have told you that I will send after the class. Okay, I'm going to read stanza 2. Darkness settles on roofs and walls, but the sea and the darkness calls and calls. The little waves with their soft white hands efface the footprints in the sands, and the tide rises, the tide falls. Okay, in second line, there is written, but the sea and the darkness calls and calls. Sea calls and the darkness calls. So it means personification is used here. Sea is a non-living object. Darkness is also non-living thing. So are mentioning here as living things. Sea calls. So these two non-living things, sea and darkness, are mentioning here as living things because they are called with soft white hands. Little waves is also non-living object, non-living thing, and it is having white hands. Personification used. Little waves with white hands, and sea calls, calling of sea, calling of darkness. Okay. Efface mean wipes away. EFFACE. Efface mean wipes away. Okay. So in second stanza, it is told that darkness falls, darkness spreads everywhere. In the second line of second stanza, there is personification. The sea and darkness calls and calls. Sea is non-living object, non-living thing that is presented as living. And another meaning is that death is calling. When sea is calling or darkness is calling, it means death is calling. The call means death. In third line of second stanza, again personification is used. Here the poet personifies the waves by describing its soft white hands. So waves are having soft white hands. It means that waves are personified. Efface means erase or wipes away. These lines means that after the traveler has gone, after the traveler has died, the waves erase his footprints from the sand. So it means it erases his existence. Waves erases his of that person in this world. After some time, Okay, students. Now I'm going to read third stanza. The morning's breaks, the speeds in their stalls stamp and neigh as the ostler calls. The day returns, but never more returns the traveler to the shore. And the tide rises, the tide falls. Steed is horses. Steeds, STEEDS. Steed means horses. Stall means compartment. It's a place where horses are kept. Stamp is actually footsteps, like jumping of horses, and neigh is sound of horses. And in third stanza, it is told that this is morning time and the new morning finally comes. That is actually rebirth. When it is told that the morning's breaks, it is actually rebirth after death. That is after death. The new morning finally comes. That is actually rebirth. The poet says that the steeds in their stalls make noise by striking their paws on the ground. It is actually stamping. When they strike their paws on the ground, that is actually stamp, STAMP, stamping. And they make noise when the ostler calls them. New life starts developing, but the travelers will never come back. So there is new life, that is rebirth, but the travelers who have left this world once, they will never come back. This is how life in the world goes on. Last line is repeated. It tells that life is temporary and there are three phases of life, that is birth, death, and rebirth. This is a process. This is life cycle. And in this